What's up, guys? Welcome back to Florida International Dynasty. If you missed last episode, go ahead and check it out. It's a pretty fun episode. We did the postseason, we did the conference championship, we did the college football playoffs, and as you can probably tell, we didn't win the national championship. That's all I'm gonna say. But you should go ahead and check that game out. Now, today is probably gonna be a short episode because it's only gonna be off-season recruiting and the transfer portal stuff. So. I didn't feel like having to make the last video like an hour long. So, and I feel like this video would also be pretty long if I did off season and then the full 3 weeks that I usually do. So we're just gonna have this be one little like smaller episode where we just do recruiting. So let's just jump right into the players leaving tab. Hopefully we have nobody majorly decide to go, and we do have a few players that do play a lot. Keenan Levrone is going to go to the NFL draft. Now, I pretty much knew this was going to happen. He's a 92 overall. Once you get to like a certain overall, you start to demand for the draft. And we have no persuasion chance to get him. So, unfortunately, Keenan Levrone will be going to the draft. But that will help our pro potential. So, hopefully, that means we can get more recruits. And then the biggest one that we can actually try to get, George Awuzie. He is currently our starting quarterback. He's capped out in an 88 overall. He can't get any better, but still, our starting quarterback wants to transfer due to pro potential, which he needs an A minus. We only have a C minus, so it's a very low chance. Connor Booth, I'll be fine with letting Connor Booth go. I mean, he rarely played. Derek Lobato is somebody I want to bring back. Kalen Mew, Austin Timberland. I'm going to try to bring everybody back. We don't have very many guys wanting to transfer. And we have 10 persuasion. Might as well use it on everybody here. Keenan Levrone obviously is not going to be starting, so we're losing our best player, but I expected that to happen. Now, Awuzie could have transferred last year, didn't decide to transfer, and he stayed around for us this year. He's probably been one of our better players. I think we're definitely going to have to persuasion chance him. George Awuzie is back. That is huge. So if we get our quarterback back for his senior season, that's big. And now I don't really want Connor. I mean, if we don't get Lobato back, maybe I would try to get Connor Booth back, but I do want to get Derek Lobato back. He did play a decent amount. His playing time was only at a C, so maybe he didn't play enough. So we're going to go ahead and try to persuade chance him. It's a low persuasion chance, and there goes Derek Lobato. So that's not good. So now I will try to get Connor Booth back, and Connor Booth doesn't, so we're going to be losing 2 running backs, so maybe that's something the transport have to look at. To Kalen Mew, our O-line depth isn't very good. I'm pretty sure he was a start. He's transferred also due to pro potential. So we're going to try to persuade him. And to Kalen Mew is back. Okay. And then Austin Chamberlain, our 3-star development trait wide receiver. He wanted playing time. This year he could get playing time because JoJo Stone and Clark are seniors, so they won't be on the team next year. So it would be awesome to get Austin Chamberlain back. And we get Austin Chamberlain back. Okay. The only one that we lose that we could have gotten back was Derek Lobato, which sucks, but I think we have good running back depth. We'll have Carver and we'll have Kevin Bibbs. But still would probably want to get a running back in the transfer portal. But we'll just quickly go over some of the guys here that are transferring. Clayton Dees didn't really play. Not really worried about that one. We do lose our fullback, Cassius Davis, so we're going to need a fullback. Wide receiver, like I said, JoJo Stone and Malik Clark are both seniors, so they will be gone. So getting Austin Chamberlain back was huge. Tight end, our starting tight end, Sean Burke, is graduating. John Rodriguez is graduating, whatever, he's a 68 overall. And then Bodie McCaslin is also a senior and graduating. He was mainly a backup. He did play a little bit this year. Some of the defensive line, we're going to be losing 3D tackles. Jadee Avasiri, Noah Herrick, and Jermaine Carter. So we do have a big hole at defensive tackle. So that's a position in the transfer portal I want to try to get. We move on to right edge. Kellen Lindstrom's going to be gone. He's probably would have been just a rotational guy. He was a rotational guy, but he's graduating. Jack Howard is graduating. He was probably our second best linebacker behind Tuttle. So that's a big loss as well. We've on the corner, Jaja Boyd. Even though I redshirted him for like a medical redshirt, he still graduated. I don't know how the medical redshirt works. I don't think it does anything. So that's unfortunate. And then Vernon Woodward also graduates, so we lose our top 2 corners. Again, another position we have to go after. We obviously lose Keenan LeBron, Sadani Gray. We don't have great safeties, so good thing we had a safety that we got in recruiting. And then Shamar Sterling is graduating. Same thing with Robert. He didn't really play last year, but we do lose some big time players. But we do keep our quarterback, so that's all that really matters to me. So, all right, we're here in off-season recruiting week number 1. We'll look at the draft results, and we do have one player drafted. It was Keenan LeBron. He does go in round number 2. So there will be, I believe he's our first player drafted. Maybe Brian Blades in year number 1 got drafted, maybe like the 7th round. But I believe he's definitely the highest player drafted we've had so far. So there we go. That hopefully helps our potential out a little bit. But we are now in the transfer portal recruiting stage. We only got 6 guys, so we're gonna have to do a lot of work to sort of get a full recruiting class. And there's a lot of players on my board that I'm still going after that we haven't yet got, like Emmett Jordan, Jimmy Craver, Larry Wooden, Shamir Warrior, Hugh Duck. So we're definitely gonna have to still recruit those guys, and then we'll have some guys to remove. So I'll do that, some of these stuff, and then I'll update you guys on the recruiting board. All right, so before I go ahead and just tell you guys who we end up signing or putting on our board, we do have some good players that want to come. The number 8 player, Garrison Hill, right guard, wants to come here for conference prestige. We do need offensive line. We have one of the top defensive tackle. We have the top defensive tackle, Kevin Wynn from Florida. Yeah, we have a lot of guys that are interested in here. Dallas Lawton, a pass rusher, is interested in us. Cassius Mixon is interested in us. There's a quarterback, Gordon Stingley from Michigan. Yeah, we have a lot of guys who are interested in coming here because we moved to the ACC and we've been really good these past 2 years. So that opens up a lot of options for us in the portal. So just want to kind of tell you guys that. And now I think I'll just start adding guys to the recruiting board. All right, so I went ahead here and added a bunch of guys to our board. I removed a bunch of guys. We're still going to go after Hugh Duck, Shamir Warrior, Larry Wooden, Craver, Jordan, probably Averill, all still. But we went ahead and we added about 10, a little over a dozen guys to the board. We'll just quickly go over some of them before. We have Garrison Gill. He's the number 8 ranked player in the transfer portal. He's a right guard. The one thing I think we should improve on offensively is at guard or at offensive line in general. Kevin Wynn, like you guys saw, we lost our top 2 defensive tackles. We really need defensive tackles, so we're going to go after one of the top defensive players, Kevin Wynn. Cassius Mixon, we need corner. Derek Lobato is willing to come back, and if you look at some of the teams that are competing with him, there's not very many good teams. I want to try to get him back. We were not on his board, but I want to try to get him back. I saw that he was available. I was like, let's try to get him back. Barry Gillikin, wide receiver, like I said, I wanted to add a wide receiver in transfer portal. I want to add a tight end. We have Ricky Sachelski. He looks pretty good. We have some 3-star tackles on here because we really need defensive tackle. Carter Lowe, one of the top offensive linemen. Eric Lockett, another really good lineman. Jermaine Bethel was somebody I tried to recruit, I want to say a few years ago, probably, maybe 2 years ago. Or maybe it was last year, last season, I don't remember. But he was somebody I was going after. I recognized the name. I figured, why not? Let's try to go after him. Then we have Keon Harris, Rakeem Stroud at corner, and then we have Anthony Silva at safety. So we have a ton of players on our board. Our transfer portal pool of players is a lot bigger this season because we're in a better conference. We're starting to be really good. We're a 3.5-star school now, so that should open up some opportunities for us to get players. But we still have to go after these guys, so I think we're going to prioritize maybe like the recruits over guys like Jimmy Craver. Nobody else is offering him. Emmett Jordan. But I still want to go after Hugh Duck, and I still want to get Shamir Warrior because he's a 3-star gem. So I'll see what I'll do. Allocating these 1,000 points. So yeah, I'll do that, and I'll update you guys on the recruiting board. Updates to the recruiting board. We're pretty much going after we're going after every single person we added on our board from the transfer portal. So we're throwing 50 on Kevin Wynn. We did end up scouting some of these guys. Kevin Wynn looks insanely good. 92 power moves, 95 strength, 87 block shedding. He has silver grip breaker, pocket disruptor, bronze inside disruptor, gold hammer, and then platinum or yeah, I want to say it's platinum workhorse. So he looks really good. We're throwing 50 on Barry Gilligan. He's got 94 speed, 87 spec catch, 87 meter, 86 catching, 90 DP. Looks insane, and he's also only a freshman. So that's a player I really want to get. Another player I really want to get, Eric Lockett. We didn't scout him. We were just throwing 50 on him. I'm going to assume he's really good. Anthony Silva, we're throwing 50 on again. I didn't really add or scout him at all. Hugh Duck, we're throwing 40 on. We're hard selling. We're visiting with him. Garrison Gill, we scouted a little bit. He looks pretty good. Silver screen enforcement, quick step, bronze option shield, and outside shield. He has 92 run block finesse, 89 run pass block finesse. So he looks really good. We're throwing 35 on Carter Lowe, 35 on Irvin. And then I scouted these corners. Cassius Nixon, 90 man coverage, 99 change of direction, 90 or 88 press, 90 catching. Silver jammer, bronze blanket coverage, house call. He looks really good. He is probably the least athletic out of all these guys. Yeah, 99 change of direction is really good, but 88 speed compared to some of these other guys. We're throwing 35 on the bottom. You guys know about him. Rakeem Stroud is somebody we're going after. He has 95 speed, 83 man, 84 zone, 97 excel, 97 change of direction, 94 agility. He's very athletic. He has platinum robber. We're throwing 35 on him. We're throwing 35 on Keon Harris, 97 speed, also pretty athletic, maybe not as good. Probably the worst out of these three guys. Not very good in man coverage. Doesn't have any abilities, but he's still very athletic. Then we have Shamir Warrior we're going after, Wooden we're going after, Carver, Emmett Jordan, and then we have some of these other guys. Kevin Otis we're throwing 25 on. We're throwing 25 on Stachelski as well. It's the Chelsea. Yeah, it's the Chelsea. Okay. On 25 Richard Stillski, we're throwing 50 on Jermaine Bethel. Just because I feel like I know him, I remember him vaguely. So we're gonna really just toss 50 on him because I kind of know what he is. I did throw these minutes on before I scouted these guys. I usually just throw the hours on them, and then if I have hours left over, I'll scout them. I'll scout them. So maybe that's why you'd be like, oh, why don't you toss 50 on this guy instead? But I usually just toss the hours on them beforehand and then scout them and stuff. So that is the update on the recruiting board. We looked at some of these guys last episode. That will be the first week of recruiting, and we'll go to next week here. All right, we get a recruiting update. We are first for Hugh Duck. It looks like we're going to get Hugh Duck. He's in his top three. Jimmy Craver's also in his top three. It looks like we should get him. Nobody else is going after him. We're currently fourth for Cassius Nixon, fourth for Keon Harris, third for Stachelski. So we're not looking too good recording the corners, but we are first for Garrison Gill. We're second for Matt Irvin. We're first for Derek Lobato. And then we're second for Kevin Otis. So recruiting in the portal so far has not looked good. But again, we haven't been able to hard sell. We haven't been able to do visits. So I wouldn't be like, oh, it's over. You're not going to get him. But we are in first for Wynn. We're second for Gillikin. We're first for Lockett. We're up there with Silva. We should be getting Hugh Duck unless Syracuse steals him. And if he does, I'm probably going to be pretty pissed. Like it's still pretty early in the recruiting cycle. Like, I'll give up. There's no way you're going to get him. So yeah, we have 380 hours to work with. So with recruiting and stuff and visits. So I'll see you guys after I do all of this stuff. All right, so I went ahead here and I tossed more hours on some guys, and then I scheduled visits. So it's still the same: 50 on Wynn, 50 on Gillikin, we're throwing 50 on Lockett, we're throwing 50 on Silva, 50 on Nixon, 50 on Gill, 50 on Stachelski, 50 on Harris, 50 on Matt Irvin, 50 on Duck, 50 on Lowe, 50 on Stroud, 50 on Demarius Brink. Texas currently maybe withdrew their offer, and I'm thinking maybe we could potentially sneak in and take Brink away from Texas. So that would be cool. He was on our board originally. He just looked that bad. 87 strength. His speed's a little low, 65. But again, he'd be another good 4-star edge rusher to add to our board. 35 on the bottom. We're throwing 35 on Otis, 30 Warrior, Wooden, Craver, Jordan. Throwing 15 on Jermaine Bethel, and then we added David Watt, another transfer portal guy for safety depth. He doesn't look too bad actually. 90 speed, 77 man in zone. He's only a freshman right now, which would be nice. We scouted Kevin Averill. He's got 90 kick power. He's probably going to accept that scholarship offer. But we scheduled visits for who did we all schedule the visits for? So we did week 1, week 2. So we scheduled a visit with Jimmy Craver this week. We scheduled a visit with Demarius Brink, and we did one with Keon Harris and Stachelski. He's got a complimentary visit with Jimmy Craver. Keon Harris, I don't think we have a complimentary visit. No, we just are needing to use some of our points, and I figured why not do it on guys with visits. So, and it looks like Syracuse was also visiting. Not amazing. But, so those are the guys recruiting-wise visiting. So let's go to week number 3 of off-season recruiting. Hopefully we add some of the guys we're going after from the high school pool. So hopefully we can get those guys. All right, so we got locked out of Cassius Mixon. I probably knew that was going to happen because Oklahoma has a 5-star pipeline, so I knew that was going to happen. We are first for Wood and Jordan. We're first for Kevin Wooden, which is big. He's probably the one I want the most because we're really in defensive tackle, and he looks insane. So we're first for him. Jordan's close to committing. Wooden's close to committing. We're second for Gillikin. We're third for Eric Lockett. We're fifth for Anthony Silva. So some of these portal guys, it's not going very well. Garrison Gill, we're in first. Second, Matt Irving. We're fifth for Carter Lowe. Fourth for Stroud. Second for Otis. Second for Watt. So we just don't have the pipelines that other teams have, and we just don't really know what they want. We don't know what to hard sell because it's like, I don't know. So recruiting is not going great. We're still first for Kevin Wooden, which is awesome. Now we're starting to get to know sort of what they would like for us. So we get Rick locked out of Mixon. That's unfortunate. But I'm still going to try to recruit some of these guys, get some of these guys. But yeah, I'll update you guys on the board. Updates to the recruiting board. Now we are starting to hard sell on pretty much everybody. So hopefully that helps us, maybe get back into the race or help us overtake some teams. We are currently we're hard selling on everybody here. So I think we should get Hugh Duck, and then we are sending some guys on visits. Like we should get hopefully Larry Wooden soon. We should get Craver. We should hopefully get Jordan. Then we added some more guys here like Makai Lee just for D tackle, just in case we don't get one of the D tackles. We're gonna really need tackle, and Makai Lee actually looks pretty good. 92 strength, 85 power moves, so he doesn't look too bad. So the guys we are having visits. We are having Anthony Silva, Garrison Gill. And then we are having Carter Lowe and Raheem Stroud. So we have a complimentary visit with Stroud and Silva, and then we're doing a complimentary visit with Lowe and Hill. So that is all we've done. We've hard sold on everybody. Hopefully that helps us. We're going to the final week of off-season recruiting. Hopefully some of these guys do end up committing to us. All right, and we do get our first commit of this off-season period. We get Hugh Duck is coming to FIU, 4-star free safety. We had another player. We had Jimmy Craver, 3-star gem quarterback from South Carolina. Okay, so we added a few guys there, but we move into first for some of these guys, so that's great. If you look at here, we're first for Kevin Wynn. It's probably looking like we might get him. We're first for Gillikin. We're still second for Silva. It's probably going to go to Texas. We're first for Gill. We're third for Stachelski. Somehow Oregon and Michigan put a bajillion points into him. We're first for Irvin, first for Lowe. Now, for some reason, playing time's an F. Why? We literally didn't add a single lineman. Why is his playing time down to an F? I think this happened with what was his name? The Arkansas transfer that was really fast. We're first for Stroud, first for Otis, first for Shamir, first for Lovato, second for Blatt, first for Bethel. Keon Harris does go to Miami. Unfortunate, but yeah. If you want to go to the worst team in Florida, we are the best team in Florida. We beat Florida State. We beat Miami, both on the road. Might I add. So I'd safe to say we're the best Florida team. We have yet to play Florida. We lost to UCF. We beat FAU. We played South Florida? I think we have. Yeah, I think we lost. I think that was year 2 we played UCF. So we haven't beaten every team. So we are first for a win, first for Gillikin. Lockett's a close one. Todd Silva's going to go to Texas, unfortunately. Garrison Gill were first. Yeah, Oregon just put way too many. I can't compete with Oregon, dude. Keon Harris does go, but we do add 2 guys, Hugh Duck, and we add Jimmy Craver to the quarterback room. So that gives us 8 guys so far. I don't know why we're locked out of Lowe. I think he's currently the only. I mean, yeah, we've signed Tyree Riddick, but now he's like, now that we're in first and we're gonna get him, he's like, nah, I'm good actually. Are we? Do we still? Okay, we still have. I don't know if that means. I think that he should still commit. I don't know, but we still have a ton of hours and we still have guys to hopefully lock up. So I'll do this off camera and I'll update you guys on the board. All right, so final recruiting board is looking like so. So we are hard selling on everybody. We have the right hard sell on everybody. We have guys visiting. Hopefully some of these visits work out. We're probably not going to get Silva. Maybe somehow we steal Silva from. I don't think it's going to happen. We're hard selling everybody. Hard sells are correct. Hopefully Lowe just commits to us. Because he's a senior, so playing time's not going to really matter because you can't transfer once you're a senior in this game. Once you're a senior, you either graduate or you go drafted. So hopefully he just ends up committing like that. I can't remember the Arkansas receiver's name. You guys should know because it looked like we weren't going to get him, and then he ended up on our roster because we got locked out and we won the recruiting battle. So I'm assuming he just decided to come to us. Jalen Brown was his name. That was his name. Wide receiver. From Arkansas, I transferred. So we're hard selling. The hard sells are correct on everybody. I even added a few more guys here. I added D'Angelo Wilbur, Juan Stokes, Keelan Pounds. I think I might have told you guys about Quincy Haslam is somebody else we added. Just added some guys for depth purposes, but yeah, hopefully we get a ton of guys. And if we get everybody, which we're probably not going to get everybody, but if we do get everybody we're going after, that would give us 29 guys, and maybe some guys like Averill or Kashama probably end up committing because we're first and we're the only person. So we'd probably end up getting a few more players even. So we could potentially get 30 players in this class. Currently, our class before all these signings are final. We currently have the 39th ranked recruiting class, 7 4-stars, 1 3-star. There's still a ton of ACC teams ahead of us. Like Miami's obviously going to be really good in recruiting. Clemson's obviously going to be really good because they're like the top teams, even though we've beaten both of them. But anyways, so that is the recruiting board. Final, it's set. Let's see if we can get almost everybody. All right, the first domino to fall is Kevin Wynn. Defensive tackle, Greensboro, Georgia is coming here. He's going to be a monster. He's going to be probably our best rated defensive player. Maybe depends on progression, but he looks really good. We add Kevin Wynn. We add Barry Gillikin, wide receiver, Pensacola, Florida. We also add Eric Lockett, right guard from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We add Garrison Gill, right guard from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We also add Matt Irvin, defensive tackle, Athens, Alabama. We add Kevin Otis, defensive tackle from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We also add Larry Wooden, tight end from Cincinnati, Ohio. We add Emmett Jordan, quarterback from Evergreen, Alabama. We add Shamir Warrior from Orlando, Florida, 3-star gem defensive tackle. We add Kevin Averill, punter. We add Adrian Kashana, 3-star right guard from Jacksonville, Florida. We also add Kevin Rowland, tight end from Pensacola, Florida as well. We add Lloyd Vaughns. We add Byron Stubbs, a fullback. So we have a fullback on the roster. We get Carter Lowe. He ends up committing no matter what. So we get him. We get Rakeem Stroud, cornerback from Plant City, Florida. We add Derek Lobato back to the team from Cleveland, Ohio. So that's big. We also get Jermaine Bethel. More depth. We get Micaiah Lee, defensive tackle from Wyoming. We add running back D'Angelo Wilbur. We add Juan Stokes, tight end. We add Quincy Haslam, Mike linebacker, and we add Keelan Pounds, free safety. So that is everybody. That commits. We just added a crap ton of players. We didn't get Derek Watt. He goes to Ole Miss. Unfortunate. But hey, we got an absolute boatload of guys. We didn't get Alfonso Wesco or Anthony Silva. He actually commits to SMU. I thought he was going to Texas, but we still add looks like 23 guys if you don't count Watt. So we have 23 guys who just committed. So that probably puts us at around 30 players on the board. Demarius Brink does end up going to Texas. I thought maybe we could sneak in there because Texas wasn't going after him. I'm going to keep him on the board because you never know, you could flip. However, we are not going to get Anthony Silva. I was prepared for that. But with that, minus 2 guys who could end up committing, we had 31 players to our recruiting board, which gives us the 16th ranked class. 13 4-stars, 18 3-stars. We did not get a 5-star, but still, number 16 ranked class, that's by far the highest we had. I believe our highest before was maybe the 40s and maybe 30s, but we now jump all the way to a top 20 class there at number 16. So now we're going to go over everybody and potentially their depth traits. So we know all these guys. We don't know Huge Duck. So let's start with Huge. Let's start with Hugh Duck, free safety. He has elite dev. That's huge. Who also Keenan LeBron also had elite dev, so maybe we got a Keenan LeBron 2.0. Hugh Duck, Jimmy Craver, 3-star gem quarterback, has impact. Kevin Wynn. Now he's only going to be here for 1 year, but he's still a very good player. Look at all those abilities. I went over his attributes. He looks really good. Barrett Gillikin is a freshman, so we will get him. I'm assuming he might have been redshirted. If he wasn't, then we will have him for 3 years potentially in his recruiting thing. I don't remember what his deal breaker was. But he's a freshman, and he has star dev. Eric Lockett is normal. He still's really good, however. Garrison Hill, guard. Sophomore, star dev. Matt Urban, freshman, has impact. Carter Lowe has impact. He's only going to be for 1 year. Rakeem Stroud, also only going to be for 1 year. Demarius Brink, don't know if he'll be on the team, but I'm keeping him on there just in case. Kevin Otis, normal dev. Derek Lobato, we knew he has star dev. Shamir Warrior has impact. Larry Wooden has impact. Emmett Jordan has impact. Jermaine Bethel has impact. Micaiah Lee has normal. D'Angelo Wilbur has impact. Juan Stokes has impact. Haslam has impact. Pounds has impact. Averill has impact. Adrian Kashama actually has star dev. I was not expecting him. He was somebody who I just threw in to help us get somebody else, but he ends up actually maybe being good. Wesco is normal for Roland, normal for Vons, and normal for Byron Stubbs. But there we go. That is the recruiting board. We do add some big-time players. Got a lot of 4-stars. A lot of 4-stars. Usually we get like 4, maybe 3 to 4. But this time we had 13 4-stars. Most guys we've signed in one single recruiting class. So this was a very good offseason. We did miss out on a few players in the secondary, but we got other guys who are maybe on the same level. So now we can do position changes. We see some of the overalls. Kevin Wynn's an 89 overall. Garrison Gill's an 88. Carter Lowe's an 85. Stroud's an 84. And plus they still have to upgrade. So these aren't the final overalls. That's a very good overall for Kevin Wynn. Look at some of the athletes. We only had one. It was Jimmy Craver. He is a quarterback. He could play halfback, but 83 speed. Don't know if I would want an 83 speed halfback. So we're going to toss him at quarterback there as our only athlete. But now I'm going to go through every single player, see maybe I can change somebody's position. Maybe they end up fitting somewhere else. But we now have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. We got back Lobato. Wilbur's actually an 80 overall. We have good depth at running back. But yeah, I think I'll just quickly go over everybody, see what potential position changes could happen. So I'll do all that, and I'll update you guys if I do end up making any major position changes. Okay, so I ended up not making any changes, just moved like left guard, right guard, so we have an even amount of players at each position and stuff. So nothing really changes there. So I think we're gonna go ahead and advance to next week, which should be the player progression page. So hopefully we get a lot of players going up in overalls. We get a ton of XP right there, 17,000. And now we can look at some of the training results. Let's start, first of all, let's go position by position. Quarterback, George Awuzie. Unfortunately, he is maxed out at a 89 overall. I know he's got 52 skill points. I literally cannot upgrade anything else. Can't upgrade anything as physicals. So he's stuck at an 88. I'm sitting with 52 skill points. Danny Cornell goes up 1 overall. Jermaine Lang went up 5 overalls. Move on to running back. Greg Carver moved up 3 overalls. Kevin Bibbs +4. Lobato +5. Wilbur +3. B2 Sewell +7. So that's good. Fullback, again, we had a freshman, so they can't really progress. Wide receiver, Barry Gillikin gets a +6, up to 86 or 87. Daryl Coffey in his final season is up to an 81. Dennis Bowe gets a +6, but look at that, +10 for Austin Chamberlain. So getting him back was a huge get. Deion Briscoe hasn't really progressed that much. I mean, he's only a normal development trait. He was a 4-star commit, so it's kind of unfortunate that he really hasn't progressed. But look at Austin Chamberlain up to an 80 overall. That's big. Receiving core is looking solid. We see Paris Perkins get a +6. Mafu Ali get a +4. Tight end, not really much change. Just, the depth gets a little stronger. Stokes transfer gets +4. Daly gets a +3. +3 for Johnson and Gata. Barker gets a +1. Offensive line, Carter Lowe gets a +1. I'm assuming he's also capped out because he has a lot of skill points that haven't been used. So yeah, we can't upgrade anything. So he's capped out at an 86. He's still a very good player. Sion Perkins gets a +2. He's depth. Garrison Gill gets a +3 up to a 91. Rico Emmanuel gets up to gets +3. Sam Chen a +4. Barnes is now up to a 91 overall. He was one of our first commits. Him and Awuzie, I want to say, were our first 2 commits, and now they're very good. They're one of our best players on the entire team. Moses Barnes up to a 91. Quincy Harrison a +3. We look at Kalen Mew goes up to an 82. Actually, Eric Lockett doesn't go up at all. That's not good. Maybe he just didn't have very many skill points. Maybe he's capped out. No, he's still got a long ways to go. So maybe we start Lockett just for the long-term benefits. Dante Head gets a +5. We see Eric Mayo gets a +4. Volk gets a +3. So, and then we have the 4-star freshman coming in. So we might have a competition at right tackle. Looking at the defensive line, Markel Swain gets a +4. All right, he's a very interesting player. 6'5", 260 with 82 speed, 92 excel. He looks like a monster. Chekwa gets a +1. Dodge stays the same. Devontae Greenlaw gets a +5. Juan Figures gets a +4 up to an 88. Alani Queen up to an 81. Bardo up to an 80. Talia Handy up to a 79. Defensive tackle, Kevin Wynn is up to a 92. Otis up to an 81. Jeff Cleveland up to a 78. Mekhi Lee 78. Matt Irvin gets a +2. Lee Adler gets a +7. Well, Jermaine Bethel stuck in an 83. Deontay Lemon, when it was in that first recruiting class, is only up to an 81. We look at Mike Cameron Tuttle's playing up to an 85. Leo Dwyer up to an 83. Hasselman a 74. Campanaro up to a 71. Then Will Lyle Beard gets a +5. Burhe's an 81. Byler's up to a 75. Corner, Stroud gets a +5 up to an 89. Jet White is up to an 86. Alfonso up to an 82. Torres up to an 81. Dontrell Roth with a +14. Oh my God, that's the most I think I've ever seen a player jump from the CP progression. Dontrell Roth up to an 83 star, and he still can max out his man in zone. So he's somebody with a very high ceiling. And that +14 definitely helps. We look at safety. Luis Guerrero gets a +7. Keelan Pounds gets a +4, +8 for Greg Glenn. Guerrero was a JUCO transfer, so it's nice to see JUCO players potentially getting significant playing time. Strong safety, Evan Elias +1, Centeno +6, +4 for Jermaine Kane. So safeties aren't the best, but we do have some freshmen, and so maybe they'll play. And then Alex Span stays at a 78. Carnegie stays at an 82. So we get a lot of upgrades. This team is definitely, I would probably say, a better team. We have one, two, three, four guys in the 90s, and we have some guys in the high 80s who could potentially get into the 90s next year. But we have a lot of seniors. A lot of our top players are seniors, so this is definitely the best team we've had. So hopefully that means we can go very far in the season. So that is all their training results. So let's go to next week here. Custom conferences, I don't think I'm going to do any. I think I'm just going to keep it the same here. I was talking about maybe putting divisions in the ACC so we can maybe, I don't know, make it not so like the top two teams and everybody else just doesn't really have a chance. But I think we're going to keep with this conference alignment of the updated Pac-12 to what it should be next year in real life. SEC, same, Sun Belt added, Louisiana Tech. So, yeah, those are the only changes I've made to it. I think we're just going to keep it so far. We can encourage transfers. We might have to encourage a few. We do have to encourage 5 transfers. So, we did recruit a little bit too many players. So, I think I'm going to go ahead here and probably just go position by position, see who I end up cutting from the team. Left tackle, I'm going to cut Sergio Simpson. He's a 64 overall. He's probably been here since year 1, honestly. No, I think everybody from the first season on the real life FIU Panthers team has graduated, so it's a whole new different team, I think. So Sergio Simpson's probably someone we ended up recruiting and getting. He's just going to be someone we cut because no point of keeping him 65 overall left tackle. I think another cut I'm going to make is I'm going to release or cut Bobby Darwin. He's a senior. He's way down on the depth chart. Yeah, he's got 95 speed, but there's just a lot of guys that are ahead of him, and I just don't see him really getting much playing time. So I think we're going to encourage transfer for Bobby Darwin. I think we're going to probably have James Johnson, maybe. Actually, we're gonna encourage transfer for Kai Gata. He's just not very good, and plus we have now we have some better depth. It's still not fantastic. Oh, if one guy gets hurt, this guy can easily come in and play. And we did get a few guys from the recruiting board, so I think we're gonna cut somebody there. And then I think we're also gonna cut Matthias Garcia. He's a senior. He's not gonna be here next year. Might as well just encourage transfer for him now. And plus we have better depth now on the offensive line. And then I think the last player we're going to encourage transfer here is Jermaine Kane. Unfortunately, he's just kind of been buried in the depth chart. I'd rather play like Hugh Duck or Centeno. He's probably the safety. He's probably the least likely of every safety to probably even play this year. So unfortunately, we are going to cut Jermaine Kane or encourage him to transfer. So now we have 85 guys. That is the max. So I think we're just going to go into season with 85. Usually we've had like 75 players, like we have had like nearly as many as we could. But this year we had a little bit too many guys. I'm not really losing sleep over having to encourage those guys to transfer, but we'll advance to next week here. All right, and if we advance to next week, we are up to a 91 overall, 89 overall offense, 94 overall defense. We're preseason ranked number 2, so we definitely did get better. Also, brain exposure is at a B-, so that is good. So, unfortunately, this is probably going to be, I don't know, maybe when I edit this, it'll be around the same time, but sorry if this wasn't like the fun, like gameplay stuff, but I still had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun recruiting, transfer portal. This team, I think, is very good. We are currently number 2 behind Georgia, who, spoiler alert, we lost to Georgia, and they ended up winning the national championship. So that is probably why we're ranked number 2 instead of number 1. But we're starting this next season number 1 or number 2. But that will do it for today's episode. Sorry if it was, again, I apologize for it being short, not very action-packed. But I felt like if I would have also done the next 3 weeks, this video would have been like close to an hour, maybe like how long my Madden videos are usually. I'm trying to make those videos shorter. I know those videos are pretty long. I'm trying to make them maybe close to an hour, hour 10, instead of like an hour 20, hour and a half. But hope you guys enjoy this episode. Hope you guys are enjoying FIU Dynasty. Next video will be a Jets franchise video. We're on the home stretch of that season, so hope you guys are ready for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.